Alright, so this is a really basic graph editor tutorial. So in this one, I'll just be going over how to use these little dots here in the graph editor and some other like basics on how the graph editor actually works and whatnot. So to start off with the dots, which are the main thing about the graph editor, I'll just be using this lower torso bone to show how this works. So let's say I want to move the lower torso from this position to this position. So here, as you can see, if you take this drop down menu, you can see here, these are the locations. So what I just did, I did the Y location, so that's why there is this graph here. And I didn't touch the Z, so it's still in position, and so is the X. And yeah, that's the X, the sides, and the Z is backwards and forwards. And here, as you can see, it curves slightly like this. Starts up really slow and then speeds up and then slows down. That's because we are using a Bezier easing style or interpolation. If it was linear, then it would all be the same speed, as you can see. And yeah, constant, it will stay in this same position until it gets to the frame where I change it. It will go up like so. So if we go into Bezier like this and edit it manually, we can make it so that it goes very fast at the beginning and it slows down at the end like this by taking this, I don't even know what it's called, but you just take it and think of it as like you're skiing. So like here you're going slow and then it's going really fast all of a sudden, or the opposite, you're going really fast and slowing down, but here it's just the opposite. So you're just going really fast because, as you can see here, these numbers on the left, those are like the values. So 0 is like the normal starting position, and as you go up, it goes into the positives, and down goes into the negatives. So now that I made it go really fast into the positives and it slows down, look what happens. It goes really fast and slows down. So I can make it so that it like jiggles at the end, or like jitters, if that makes sense, by doing this. Just take this thing here and yeah, so that it goes up and goes down quickly like this. And you can add another keyframe here and you can make it do the same thing, but I just want it faster, so I'll take the keyframe. So like any changes you make here to these dots, which are keyframes by the way, they're keyframes, any change you make here is gonna change here in the dope sheet, or if you're using like the timeline, it's the same thing. I just use dope sheet. And yeah, you can make like waves type of motion so that it goes up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down like this. Just up and down. You know, say I want this to not start at like the slow position, and instead I want it to start high up. What I will do is, I'm not gonna use this, we're gonna use a graph editor. We're gonna go in here, you're gonna take this keyframe, either press G and move it, or just drag it up with your mouse, or just use G, and you take it here. Like, it's really high up, that's 2. That's the value, like I said, and this is the starting position. This is starting, this is 2. No, wait, the starting's here, my bad. So 2 is what I'll do. And I want it to go down to the starting position. And then I want it to kind of like go down quickly and go back up. Go down quickly and then go back up like this. So here it simulates like, imagine like a person skating. He's going down very, 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 very quick. It goes back into the starting position, which is where it will stand on the floor. And then it bends its legs down a little bit and goes up again, like a little jump. Gives it a little hop in the air, and goes back into the starting position. So that's what it looks like. See that? Just add some like physics into it, I guess. But we want it faster, so we take this curve and make it a bit straight, like so. Just make it straight. And just, if you want it a bit smooth, you just like the more you slide this like further, the more it stretches. But I don't want it to stretch that much. Like it's like elastic, you know. And so I want it a bit faster. So I'll just take these keyframes. Oh yeah, if you're trying to select a keyframe in here and there's like other lines getting in the way, you can just either disable the other lines like so, you know, and then select it, or you can just hide them. My bad. You can hide them like this and choose it, or you can do this. You can, if you want like the green one for example, and the blue one is getting in the way, or the red one, you just click again and it will pick it. So I just want that, and I shift select the other green one and I pull them back here. Now it goes so. But here I want it a bit fast. So yeah. If I want it to bend down more, I can stretch this more and it'll bend more. If I want to go higher, I stretch this one. But I don't want that. Okay, so now that's done. Next up, I will be showing how to use these things. Handle types, which are in here. If you go into key and go into handle type right here. So what I want to do is just, I want to space these out a little bit just for this part. And yeah. So if you wondered why in here these keyframes look different than these ones, that is because these are actually a different handle than this one, because in these ones I edited them at the graph editor, so they change into this handle type called aligned, which is when you take a keyframe in here and edit it, it automatically changes into aligned. So yeah, the default is actually V. This is a shortcut. Default is auto clamped. So as you can see, everything changed. If you look here on these, they all change to the default. They're just set straight. No changes into them. It's like I never touched the graph editor. But if you want, you could also do automatic, which automatically smoothes everything. So if you go here like this, it's very smooth. But if we go back into auto clamped, see, like stopped and it went back up. And you can use Victor, which just makes everything linear, like I showed at the beginning. Everything is the same speed. Doesn't slow down or get faster. You can also use free. But first, let me just get this back into auto-clamped and then use free. So free is, well, it's self-explanatory. You can just freely move the stuff as you desire, like so. That. Which you wouldn't be able to if you used aligned. See that? You can't do that. And you can also set different handle types for each. Well, let's just call these handles. I don't know the name, but yeah, you can set like free in here and like automatic here. And yeah, just like change them. You can do this online and free, but I don't even really think it matters that much. And it doesn't really work all the time, so just don't do that. And next, I will show modifiers. So if you go into the graph editor, you might not see this menu that I had here all the time. If you press N, it shows. And to pull up the modifiers, you press on what you want to modify. So for example, let's say I want to modify what I've been working on the whole time, the up and down. We go here to modifiers, and there is a lot of different modifiers. So you see what they do and say use this. So usually you would want to use this one for Roblox emotes, built-in function, and I don't really mess with these, but you can. And yeah, you can also add this additive, which says values generated by this modifier are applied on top of the existing values instead of overwriting them. So it doesn't mess up your past work before adding the modifier. So as soon as I add the modifier, you can see, well, it goes instantly here. You can see it actually did all this. But in here you can set them. Amplitude makes them lower, so that just like explain what these are. These are jumps because I'm editing the Y location. These are little jumps. And here, this actually like slows down the jumps, the multiple, and offset, like phase offset. This changes like, so like say you start your dance in this position, or you can change it into this position. You start the dance in the air or on the floor or in the middle, whichever you like. And offset, basically, well, you can see it makes it go higher value or higher value or lower value. So here it'll just be in the air, and down here it'll be in the floor, because lower value means closer to the ground, higher means closer to the air. And here you can choose the influence so that it doesn't actually like influence the keyframes you had set before, because this is what I had set before. Like if it's disabled like this, if I delete that, you can see this is what I had, but then I added a modifier and it changed it into this. You can just change these if you want, but yeah, in here you can go into restrict frame range. So here you can choose when the dance starts and ends. And you can also blend it in and out. So here, these are actually keyframes. So I wanted to start at the first frame, not keyframes, frames. And I want to end at like say 60. So it goes all the way up to 60 and then it stops. You can see. See, it stopped. And you can blend it out so it doesn't do this like this big ass line. You can blend it out a little bit. Yeah. And now since I blended it out, it goes up. But like it doesn't snap. And you can also blend it in a little bit. So like now there's like a little jump And yeah, that's pretty much it for this modifier. You can also do like noise, I guess. And you can just do whatever. You can do this with like the head, for example. Like if I were to go into the head here and add some keyframes. And I want, for example, to change the rotation. The green one. I don't know what the name is. Probably, yeah, Y rotation. Z, my bad. Just add noise into it. And the head is now possessed. Very cool. And you can, it's the same thing, you can just mess with these stuff if you want. This is a string. There's also something I want to point out that I see a lot of people not actually doing. I've seen a lot of people not do this. It's something that has to do with the graph editor. It's with the looping. So pretty much, if you want to loop something, let's just say, for example, I want to take these out so it doesn't loop. Never mind, it fucking does, because I did it in this file. But after you loop by copying the first keyframes and pasting them, what you want to do is you go to pause mode and select all the bones by pressing A, and go into the graph editor. Just click anywhere and press A again. Or just you can just go in here from the beginning and click A and press A, and you press Shift E to make cyclic F modifier, F minus. So that actually, if you go into the modifiers again, it added a modifier called cycles that makes it repeat the motion. So now the loops are a billion times smoother. Look, it's just like seamless loop. Okay, so this is like the second dance that I made on Blender. I didn't actually do the graph editor thingy. Hold on. Okay, so to take, oh yeah, I haven't set this at the start. I hope that wasn't an issue. To pull out the graph editor, you just go here, anywhere, like in these things, and click here, and you just graph editor. Okay, so here, if we go into the loop, it kind of stops a bit. Let me just like add some movement so that you can see. It stops a bit and it starts moving. You can see that, right? Yeah. Alright, so to fix that, go into graph editor, A, Shift E, make cyclic. Now there's no stop. It moves immediately. If we didn't do that, it's a bit of a stop there. The loop is not smooth. And let me show you this dance without the automatic modifier, which makes everything smoother. If you start here like this, it's not really that smooth, but linear. So V, automatic. You can see it makes it way smoother. You see, but it also moves some things you do not want to move, like the legs here. So I recommend taking the legs and going here, just select the legs and press this cursor here, and select anywhere in here, and press A, and press V, and then press auto clamped. Same with the other leg. Press auto clamped. Oops. Auto clamped, and this bone as well. I don't want that to move. And this one as well. Yeah. There you go. Now the legs don't really slide that much. It still slides because the dance sucks, but yeah. That's just like the basics of graph editor. I'm not that good at graph editor, but I just made this tutorial because a lot of people asked me to, and here it is.